If you've ever thought about starting a business, you have to understand that your first business is going to be everything for you. It's going to shape the way that you see business. It's also going to shape the way that you do business. So in this video, I'm going to explain to you guys a couple different things that your first business has to have, or you're probably going to fail. Coming in at number one, the first thing that I would say that you need to make sure that you have is a very easily pinpointable pain point that you can solve for a customer. This just means something little that the customer is going to see and say, okay, this is why, this is what I needed, this is what I wanted. This is how you're going to get the expectations from the customer completely expunge and say, all right, everything worked out exactly the way that I wanted it to. Same way with trash can cleaning. Let's think about it like the customer just wants the can to be good. The customer probably wants the can to smell good. They probably want to know that there's not going to be rodents, animals, insects, anything like that around the trash can. So something like that are like easy pain points that you can hit by offering different services like chemical treatment, telling them that you come in, you use a pressure washer. I'm not just using a garden hose. I'm actually using pressure and deodorizing content like products and stuff like Fabuloso. So I can guarantee them that all these little pain points are going to be hit, and it's something they're not going to have to worry about. They're not paying me to come out and provide this service for nothing. So whatever service or whatever business that you're going to start in, you have to try to provide a solution to the customer's problem, and the customer's problem has to be very easily identifiable. This doesn't just go for service businesses, but that's kind of where all of my experiences come from. So even with like mobile detailing, right? You know the customer just wants a clean vehicle, right? They do not want stuff on the ground. They do not want a bunch of dirt and nastiness on the driver's side doors or on the passenger side doors and the cup holders. You know their steering wheel, they don't want to see dust all over it. They want to see stuff clean outside of the car. They don't want the paint to be shining. These are all little pain points that you're going to solve for the customer to make them feel comfortable, to make them feel satisfied, to make their expectations to be met. That way you can now get a recurring job, something you can go out there and do. And you know that you are actually solving something for the customer and giving them that transactional value, so now they want to pay you. And if your business does not have something like this, then clearly you're not going to be able to provide the solution to somebody's problem. Why would they give you any money? Coming in at number two is going to be volume of potential customers. You have to know that whatever you're providing, whatever solution, whatever problem you're answering and you're fixing for a customer, there has to be a wide base of customers that are also going to have that exact same problem. That's why whenever people get into niches that are way too tiny and they're not very relevant to everybody around them, something like solar panels, right? Maybe if you're in a state that has a ton of solar panels, solar panel cleaning could do really well for you. If you're in a state that has listen, and it doesn't have to be very specific to wherever you live. If you want to know that you could start this business anywhere you go, it could be replicatable upon like multiple teams in different states, then you want to find something, and this is just an example. Everybody hates on can cleaning anyway, but something like trash can cleaning, the premise of it makes sense. Everybody has a trash can. A lot of their trash cans are nasty and have never been cleaned. So for a lot of people, maybe not everybody, some people want to have their stuff cleaned, and because their trash cans are nasty enough, once you've reached that breaking point, you're probably going to want to pay someone to do it. Just like mobile detailing, some people let their cars get so bad that at some extent or some point, they might have said, I'm never going to pay anybody to do this. I'll do it myself. I'm not that lazy. At some point, you might get bad enough to where you're like, okay, let me bring somebody in to do this for me. You can give money and they'll provide the service to you. But even something like mobile detailing, everybody has a vehicle that is going to get dirty. That's the pain point. And then somebody can come in and fix it for them. Boom. Now you have a large variety of customer base everywhere that you possibly go because everybody has a vehicle. And whatever business you're going into, if it's way too niche down and it couldn't be relatable to everybody around you, then that's going to be a problem. It's not something that's very easy to fix and something that's going to be everywhere. Like, once again, some sort of service business that you are providing something to a customer, and a lot of customers are going to have this. All of homeowners have a trash can. All homeowners, even people that do not own homes probably own a vehicle, because where else, how are they going to get around? Also, something like a maid service. Maid services have a very large variety of people that they can service because they can clean anything. They can clean like camps, they can clean houses, they can clean apartments, they can clean condos, they can clean hotels, buildings. Stuff like that is very wide variety of potential of customers. And if your service business or your regular business doesn't have that, then you're gonna be caught in the wind. The third thing that I believe any business, that the first business you're going to start should have, is the capability to provide some sort of subscription-based servicing or product or solution that you can do to somebody over and over and over and over. Just like, I'm going to keep relating back to the businesses that I'm aware of and that I've serviced before. We can even start with a different one. Something like lawn care, cutting people's grass. This is a very, very, very highly recurring service that people are going to need over and over and over. They're going to need it every 2 weeks, up to about every 4 weeks. maybe even some people get it every other week or every single week. That just comes down to whatever time of the year it is, the season obviously, so that's going to be tough. But you can even on the back end offer like bed services, bed cleanup, anything like that. And I'm sure people are going to have their beds that are getting bad after every couple of months. That's also subscription based, because you could service that exact same customer, get even more money out of that one customer, money and value, in the same year. Definitely. Maybe even if it's year after year after year, they're still on some sort of recurring value to you. That way, you're not always trying to go out there and hope for brand new customers. You're not always trying to go out there and be like, oh, okay, cool, I did this guy. Well, man, I really need to find somebody else for next week. No, you're going to constantly have these people running in, and building up a client list. That way, all the heavy lifting is done in the front end, and then now you're just servicing people and getting better at your service. So a lot of this stuff is going to be more low ticket, even like something like window cleaning. This is something that you could provide very often, can cleaning, mobile detailing. It's all stuff that's decently low ticket enough to where I've had people that I clean their car every 2 to 3 months, right? So that's a subscription based service to where I'm not always chasing the new person. I know, okay, I provided a good enough servicing to this person, and I know that they like the way that I can satisfy their expectations of the service to where that they're okay with paying me money and they're not thinking that they're losing something. So whatever service or whatever business that you're going to start, your first business needs to have something recurring. That way it takes away that hard piece of, man, I have to find new people to give me their money so that you can keep everything rolling and like growing. And finally, one of the biggest things for me, just because I'm a person that loves routine, a lot of people are exactly like that. So whenever I go into my businesses, I want to be able to offer the exact same situation. I want things to be able to have a system and be able to be replicatable, moving step by step by step. I want to have a process of providing this product or providing this service or providing this value to somebody, and I want it to be able to go like this. That way, someone can easily, whether you have to teach somebody that you can scale up, whether it's an educational product, this could be a first business as well. You can teach somebody, this is how this happens, this is how this works, this is how that works. This is exactly whenever I teach them outside of my school, and I've been able to come up with a system for each one of them. That way they're all very replicatable, they're very easy to do, and then you can see consistent growth because you know this is the step 1, this is step 2, this is step 3. Maybe you're getting faster at going all the way through step 10. Maybe you're getting better at a couple of the steps along the way. Maybe you even find ways to optimize and you can cut out steps along the way. It takes off that edge of every single job being completely different, which maybe that's a good thing for some people, but I would rather know exactly what I'm going in, doing, and then the next. That's why I don't charge with my mobile detailing business. I don't charge based on how dirty the car is. I charge based on how big the car is, because the way that I'm going to do my process is exactly the same every time. Even if it's a little dirtier, it's not going to be any different. And if your business doesn't have this, it's always going to be a recurring problem that you're having to learn on your feet every single time you go to a job. And hey, maybe you're going to learn a lot of stuff, but you're not going to be getting good at the stuff that actually matters, that you need to be able to replicate over and over and over, that you need to be identifying in your brain to know, okay, this is how I do this is how you could teach this, and this is how I make my money.